Alright, so welcome back. Well, I would say welcome back. It's been about a year. My pity 4 videos last prep, but anyway, here we are back in the YouTube, and this is something I've wanted to do with so long now. As you can see in the title of the video, this video is just going to be a bit more of an introduction, basically what I've been at the last year and what my plans are to get back on stage in a year and a half time in 2025. But I've been wanting to do YouTube for ages now, like consistently, and I just basically didn't have the balls to do it because I was just caring too much about like recording in a gym and what people would think. But it's something I know I really will love doing, so I'm just going to try keep consistent at it. Well, I will keep consistent at it, but I felt like this was just a good video to kind of introduce things, and so you can actually follow along the journey and see my journey from prep last year to now and what the plan is moving forward. And really I just want to do all this YouTube just, like I said, to share the journey, but just share my passion, because I absolutely love bodybuilding. I love coaching, and I just want to share that passion with you and try and build like a community of people that all share the same passion, because I know there's not many of them around. Like people, it's bodybuilding is so niche, bodybuilding coaching is so niche, it's such a niche group. So to find them people and be able to like build that platform and share the passion with everyone is something I really want to do. And if I can just share my passion, I know people will follow along with it. So it's just going to be something I'm just going to go, fuck it, I'm doing it, and that's it. And that's kind of why I just said, let's just go at it again. And like I said, this video is just going to be a good way to kind of introduce the journey, I suppose, and where I currently am. So what I do is I'm going to switch over to a Loom video in a minute. I'll break down my full off season from from prep 2022 last year, end of September, to now middle of November, what my off season looked like. So just over 12-13 months, what I've been doing from now, the end of prep till now, and then what the plan of action is from now to 2025 till I start prep, and just show you like how to structure an off season, what I've done up until now, how to structure the rest of an off season, and just kind of, this one will be a bit more of like a sit down education one. Not all my YouTube videos are going to be like this, but this is just a good way to introduce things. And it will be a bit more like education based. So anyone that's watching this that wants to get on stage, or anyone that's younger that doesn't know how to kind of structure an off season, this will show you how to. And I'll just share my journey, what I've done, every step, phase by phase, month by month, last year to now. I'll show my progress along the way, and then that way I'll be able to document the rest of the next year and a half off season as well, and hopefully you'll follow along. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be basically about. I'll go on to Zoom, I'll switch over there now, or Loom, sorry, I'll go on to that and then show you. But yeah, that's basically a bit of a rant of what's happening with this video, why I want to start YouTube, and then take things from there. But not all videos are going to be like this. Like I said, I will include some full days of eating, because I know that's what most people love to see. I'll start doing some training videos. I'll go run down of all my splits, and any sort of kind of day in the life vlog videos you want to see, and anything else, just let me know. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and I'll catch you in the Loom video. All right, so welcome back. This is probably going to be a bit of a long one. Don't know how long, but get comfortable. Buckle up, and we'll go through this whole process. So, as I was saying in the introduction, I'm just going to basically show you from 1 week post show last year, September 2022, to right now, and what I've done in the off season so far. I'll take you through week by week, month by month, step by step, show you how to kind of set out each phase, and then after that, show you what the plan of action is up until stage 2025. So yeah, it's a long time period, 2022, the whole way till 2025, the way to get back on stage. I'd love to prep straight away, but look, the long-term goal is in mind, and like I'm going to highlight multiple times throughout this process, it is a long-term game, and you need to have that patience as well. And I have time on my side, so that's why I'm taking such a long approach. But basically, here we have a big timeline. You can see the date, the week, the phase you're in, my body weight, and some extra details here, which you don't need to be too concerned about. What calories I was on, my cardio, my steps, my training, and then some extra notes. So you can see here, 25th of September 2022 was the week of my second and last show, Arnold UK. You can see my average body weight was about 77 kg on stage. My second show. This week, or the first week, was a rebound. So we took an 8-week rebound post show. But first, I want to show you just some photos 1 week post show, and I'm gonna laugh looking back at these already have. So I was so scrawny, but anyway, these are basically the photos 1 week post show after I got back from the UK. Because I was in the UK for, I competed, I think it was on a Friday, stayed in the UK till that Tuesday or Wednesday. Then this was 1 week post show after flying home after the second competition. So you can see here, bear with me every time I get up these photos, I have to download it and then go back in. So bear with me with this. But this was 1 week post show after prep 2022, and I was quite scrawny looking back at these. But anyway, so you can see, still have patchy tan on me. If you're wondering what's all the patchy stuff on my skin, but 77 kg was my my weight week of the show, and then we got back. I was 82.9. So what's that? About 5.9 kg up. 1 week post show now. Obviously, that initial weight gain, you're going to gain about 5 to 6 kg. You want to gain anywhere from like 5, 6, 7 kg the week after your show. Some of that's going to be water weight, it's going to be food weight. Obviously, when traveling, that's going to cause water weight as well. And then just get back to a healthy body fat level as well. But 5, 6 kg up is a very, very good gain of weight 1 week post show. You don't want to be gaining like 10, 12, 15 kg and just blow up post show. So that was why my body weight was up to 82.9. You're going to see that increase. And when we post show, and obviously after eating off pan for a few days as well. But this is what I looked like when we post show started the rebound. You can see, I'm not going to spend too long on these photos. You can just see my condition was there, my shape was there, my detail was there. I just needed way more muscle. Like I haven't really done a proper off season before this prep. Not like a proper off season, just like a shitty 6-month bulk before this prep. So that's why I needed more muscle. But regardless, the condition was there. I know I had the shape, I know I had the detail, I know I had the lines, but I just need way more muscle, and that's why I'm taking such a long off season. You can see in all these photos, like the shape is there, the structure is there, everything is there. I just need more muscle mass. And you can see the condition on the glutes, everything, even 1 week post show after eating off pan is still bang on as well, which is something I want to run through in this rebound as well. But anyway, that was my position 1 week post show. We then spent 8 weeks, 2 months doing a rebound. Honestly, this rebound was like harder than prep, mentally harder than prep. I'm not just saying that, but this, especially the first 4 weeks, the whole 8 weeks, to be honest, was so difficult mentally because the food focus was crazy high. My appetite was through the roof because obviously when you're in prep, you're digging, you know you have that goal of stepping on stage. And then rebound, or when you finish when you step off stage and you're going into the off season, this goal of stepping stage isn't there. So your food focus is absolutely crazy. Obviously your metabolism, your body's ramping up. It just wants to eat everything around you. But one thing you can see when I show you these photos, I made crazy progress in these 8 weeks, and especially even when I show you a second set of photos in a second, up to the start of my push-up, I basically maintained extremely good condition. I still had lines in my glutes. I still had very low body fat months after show because of how regimented I stayed on this rebound. Because you see, like, a big mistake people make post-show, post-photo shoot, whatever it is they just go absolutely off the rails and they eat all around them for 2 or 3 weeks straight. But you have to realize post-show is, your body is super responsive, and it can it's like just soak up water like a sponge. So if you take the piss and you eat all around you for 2 or 3 weeks, you will do crazy damage. You're going to spike your body weight up. It spikes your blood pressure up. Your organs are going to be under so much pressure, and you see it so much. You see it so much when people finish a show 2 or 3 weeks later. They're 15 kg up. They're holding a load of water weight. Their body fat has gone crazy high. They basically look like they didn't even prep because their body fat is so high. And that's going to just ruin your whole off season. Your whole off season is now ruined because your body fat's too high. You don't have room to push up. You're going to have to do another cut again in like 2 months. And most importantly, health-wise, it's probably one of the most unhealthiest periods you can do is post-show, when you take the piss for a few weeks and you eat too much food. And it's very hard to control. Like, that's why I'm saying this first 4 weeks to 8 weeks was extremely difficult, but it paid off because I traveled back like 5 days after my show, and I just got straight back into my meal plan, didn't deviate from the meal plan once, got back on my cardio, back on my steps, and I treated this post-show period like I was on prep. I treated it like I was still on prep. We had one weekly off-plan meal in, and outside of that, I didn't eat a single gram of food that wasn't on the plan, didn't miss a single bit of cardio. And that's why I stayed in such good condition and made so much progress. And you can see at the end of the 8 weeks, I went from 82.9 to 89.5. I'm just going to pull out my calculator in case I sound like a retard and fuck up the maths. Um, but I gained 6.6 kg in 8 weeks, and you can see the condition is still very, very similar. And that's because I just focused so much on my training. I didn't deviate from my plan, and I just followed everything to a T. And I didn't take the piss post show. Post show obviously is a very, very good time period to put on some muscle mass because your body's so sensitive to nutrition. You're in such a good environment. Obviously, health and recovery needs to come first, but I'll just leave this download again. But you can see this is 8 weeks apart, close to 7 kg up, and the condition is more or less the exact same. You can see obviously these photos on the left are the ones I showed you. That was 1 week post show, and these photos now are the end of the 8 week rebound. So I'll just go through these, and you can see condition is still more or less the exact same. Obviously, a touch bit more body fat, which is expected, but you can see how much more thickness and density is added everywhere. So yeah, you can just see literally everything's after growing. Obviously, like I said, a touch more body fat, but that's like 7 kg, close to 7 kg up. And it just goes to show how useful and how much progress you can make in that rebound in that initial few months post show if you stay locked in. But that's the difficult part, is staying locked in because of how difficult it is. So there's just 2 more photos here, and like you can see everywhere, chest, shoulders, lats, legs, added thickness like literally everywhere. And especially from the front shot, the front relax, you can see like the shoulders, the chest, the thickness, everywhere is gone up. And that was 8 weeks apart. So I'll just go back to the timeline now. We then transitioned into just a maintenance phase, hold a body weight for a while. And you can see we dropped food slightly. I was on 4,000 training, 3,200 rest, dropped food slightly just to help maintain that body weight for that kind of 2 months or so after that rebound. And you can see my body weight went from 89.5. As we tried to maintain, I went to 91. So I actually still went up a kg and a half. And when I show you these photos, you can see I still grew. And the reason I still grew is just because of that few months post show. Like I said, the few months post show, if you stay locked in, can be so beneficial. And obviously it was my first show. I was still young. I still didn't do a proper off season, so I was bound to grow. But this was now January, so you can see we finished the show. 8 week rebound, which brought me till the end of November. We maintained over Christmas and a bit into January. And then at the end of January, we started my first proper push-up, which I was buzzing for. And this is still only my first push-up. We pushed up the whole way from January to July this year of 25 weeks of pushing my body weight up. So you can see 91 kg was my starting point of that push-up. And I have photos here of what I looked like at the start of this push-up, which is probably what about 4-ish or so months post show. So bear with me, I'll probably have to download these again. Yeah, so fucking hell, come on. Here we go. So this is what I looked like at the start of my push-up, 91 kg. And you can see from my last set of photos, I'm still after growing. And that's simply just from the post-show period. So you can see from 1 week post show to now, there's obviously a big difference. I'll just go through some of these photos. You can see one thing that's glaring out to me is still my condition. I still have striations in my glutes, lines absolutely everywhere, still have veins in my legs, no signs of like excess body fat. And you can see even from the back, still striations in my glutes. From the side, same thing again. And you can see how much this condition is staying good. And that was one thing that like made this last 12 months since I stepped off stage so beneficial, was my ability to stay lean, keep locked in, and keep my body composition in a good spot. And you can see, obviously I haven't compared them yet, but you can see the difference in thickness and muscle mass like all over, and condition is staying there. And the reason I keep bringing this up is because obviously I want to try and educate you, whoever is watching this, for when you do finish your photo shoot, a prep, your first show, is that few months post show. basically is going to dictate your progress in the next off season. Um, and just how important it is to stay locked in. So I'll just go through some more of these photos anyway. You can see already like my back is coming up, still striations everywhere. And it was just these were one of my favorite set of photos, to be honest. Even to this day, since post show, this starting position of the push up are still some of my favorite looks. Even to this day, which is kind of crazy to think of, but that was what my starting position of the push up. We then spent 25 weeks pushing my body weight up, which was quite long. We went from 91 kg on average, my weekly average body weight of 91 kg, to 25 weeks later of 102.9, and we kind of got to a peak of 103, 103 kg. So quite a big increase in body weight. But one thing you can see over this push up, and one thing that's important, is you need to take things very gradual. You can see we started on 3,900 calories. I stayed there for 5, 6 weeks, longer, 8 weeks. We then bumped food up. We held that position again for like another 6 to 8 weeks. Bumped food up and held that again for another 6 to 8 weeks. You don't just, one common thing and common mistake you see people do all the time is, oh, I'm bulking, I need to put on size. They'll increase their calories. Next week, increase their calories. The week after, increase their calories. And then 2 months down the line, they're extremely fat and they can't even get a pump. Their appetite is poor, digestion is poor, and then they start cutting again. You need to take things very slow and gradual. You can see how gradual we were with the calories. It wasn't a bump up every week or every second week. It was every like 2 months we bumped up food. And we done that over a period of time. Another thing you can see, I kept cardio in daily throughout the whole off season. That's something really important too, because cardio in your off season is going to help with digestion. It's going to help with your appetite, and obviously help keep things nice and tidy. So you can see 91 up to the peak of 103 kg. Now, I got too soft in this push-up. I definitely did, but we have to keep in mind, I'll just show you the photos. I'm definitely way too soft in this push-up. I won't be getting as soft and as high body fat again in my next push-ups. But when you look at these, you can definitely see my body fat was too high, and I was quite bloated as well, but I'll show you anyway. Keep things nice and real and show you the ugly side of bodybuilding as well. Fucking hell, I hate waiting for these. Ruins the flow of the video. But anyway, so photos I just shown you on the left were the start of my push-up at 91 kg and here at 103 kg, so about 12 kg up, which is obviously a very, very large amount. The condition doesn't look too bad in this shot. Wait till you see my face. My face was so bloated. Like, look at the state of that compared to here. But anyway, that was 91 kg to 25 weeks later of 103 kg. My first time getting above them into the triple digits, but body fat was definitely too high. Like, it wasn't extremely excess body fat, but it definitely was too soft for my liking. And at the kind of end of this push up, like, my pump started to go, my fucking digestion wasn't as good, my sleep was poor, walking around was uncomfortable. I'd get pumps in my shins from walking around just because I was just holding a bit too much. But it paid off. Yes, I went through this uncomfortable period of where my body fat was definitely higher, but I'll show you photos after when we cut down. And it definitely paid off. Yes, my look is like night and day better on the left. It's way more pleasing on the left, but you have to go through these uncomfortable stages on the right to really add some extra muscle tissue. And this was my first proper off-season push-up, so I could afford to push things a bit more and afford to get a touch sloppier. Because it was kind of new to this, it is my first push-up. But like I said, you need to go through these uncomfortable stages. Yes, I didn't like how I looked. Yes, it was uncomfortable to walk around. Yes, my sleeping was poor, my breathing was poor, but it paid off, because now when I show you when I cut back, we kind of first we held that phase, because you have to see as well, we pushed from September 2023, so the start of October more or less, the whole way till the July of not being in deficit one day. We were in a surplus, or more or less 90% of the time we were in a surplus the whole way till July. So yes, it's kind of a bit of a reasonable. It's reasonable enough that my body fat did get high, but that's why we spent a long period of time kind of maintaining that. And you can see here, then obviously I had a wedding. I went on holidays to Tenerife for 2 weeks, and that was the first time in September, a year after my show, I actually decided, okay, I might not be a bodybuilder for 2-3 weeks of my life and enjoy things and take a bit of downtime. My physique went to shit. No, minimal training, but it was so overdue. It was well needed. Mentally, it was needed. But anyway, we then are right here. So this is where we are right now. 10 weeks into my mini cut, which if you've been following me on Instagram, I've been posting updates. So this is my first time cutting a year later. You can see literally exactly a year later, 12 months later, is my first time doing a cut since I finished my show. Last week of the show, our last show, 25th of September, we spent a surplus the whole time and a bit of a maintenance phase here up until the 24th of September, 1 year later, and I've finally decided to trim some body fat back. And the reason I could spend that long time period in a surplus and push my body weight up, you can see every single week my body weight kept going up. The reason we could afford to do that is because, like I said, I kept my condition and my body composition in a really good position post show, and that's why I've added so much size on. And you can see this then, first time cutting, we did a slightly longer mini cut. Like mini cuts or tidy up phases, generally 6 to 8 weeks, but we wanted to do 10 weeks because of being in the surplus for so long, and I wanted to get like lean, so my body would be super responsive. So you can see, well, I'll go show these photos. This was peak off season at the weight of about 101, 102, 103 kg to now after 10 weeks of 92.8 kg on average. So you can see I finished at an average of 92.8 kg. So about 9.5 kg stripped off from 101. And you can see this was 10 weeks apart, and this is what I look like right now. So I'll just download these as usual. Come on, you bastard. Alright, so like I said, this was post holiday, post off season, pushing up for 12 months, back from Tenerife, back from a wedding, so you can see why I'd be quite sloppy, to now 10 weeks apart, in and around 10 kg or so in the difference in body weight. And you can see this was the biggest and leanest I've ever been, that kind of 92, 93 kg mark, in and around on average 93 kg. This is by far the leanest and biggest I've ever been at that body weight. Hence why pushing your body weight up to this uncomfortable position pays off. Yes, you might look at this and think, what the fuck is going on? Way too high body fat, bloated. But you can see I reap rewards, and it pays off going through that uncomfortable period. And you can see like the difference when you look at here and you trim that body fat back, all the shape comes out. And this is very, very happy with kind of the progress I've made so far. I'll just go through a few more photos slightly, and then I'll show you from start to finish. It's crazy when you look at like my physique when I'm peak push up, peak body fat, my physique goes to absolute crap. Like I just don't look like I have any sort of shape, and then when I cut back, it all comes out. It's weird. I'm just one of them people that do not hold a good physique when I have high body fat. But yeah, and you can even see from the side as well. What I'll do now is I'll just show you from 1 week post show to now. So about 13 months apart, 14 months apart. This is what we're currently looking like. So this is literally this week starting. This is the first week of the push-up. So we've done a 10-week mini cut. This is now my first week transitioning into my push-up, where we're going to push my body weight back up. And you can see from September last year, first week of October, 1 week post-show, to right now, this is the difference so far. Now this is basically sums up the whole process. Of course, I'm gonna have to download these again, I imagine. So this is really where you're going to see like, okay, this does actually work. Pushing your body weight up over a long period of time does actually pay off. And when I compare these, I was actually quite shocked myself as well with how much heavier I am and the minimal difference in body fat level there is. You can see this was on the left was the first photos I've shown you 1 week post show, to now what I'm currently looking like at the end of my diet. Now bear in mind as well, on the right I'm quite depleted and I'm flat because I was dieting for 10 weeks, but you can still see I was with 82.9 on average 1 week post show, to now at the end of my 10-week mini cut after pushing my body weight up 92.8. So there's 10 kg exactly apart on my weekly average body fat. So 82.8, 80 or 92.8, 10 kg up on the right. Obviously a few kg lean, like I don't know, it's touch leaner anyway on the left, considering I was 1 week post show, but you can see the difference everywhere. Same when I go to the front shots, you can really see in the front and side the difference, like everywhere. Way more 3D look everywhere, density, bigger legs, wider legs, more, arguably even more detailed legs at the moment. chest has come up a ton, shoulders and arms have come up a ton, lat thickness has come up a ton. And you can see it, especially when I go to the side shots, you can see like my traps, my shoulders, arms, glutes, legs, everywhere. Waist is kept the exact same, which I'm extremely happy about. That's obviously the goal. And you can see, especially from the front shot, just the amounts of thickness and density I've added in the upper body, because my legs were always my strong point. We really wanted to bring my upper body up, and we've clearly done that. And you can see from the front again, just way more size everywhere, and not that different in body fat. Considering this is 1 week post show, and this is only after 10-week mini cut, after 12 months of pushing body weight up, and condition isn't that far off, I'm quite happy with that. And you can really see from the sides again, just everywhere is after coming up. Back shots, my back was definitely my biggest weak point, like by far. I can't even go back, but anyway, my back shots were definitely my biggest weakest body part, and I'm quite happy with how it's coming up. And you can really see from these side shots, like generally you can tell from the side shots when how much size someone has added on. You can see like my shoulders, chest, legs are after still coming up, calves, like everything is just way thicker. And you have to take into consideration as well, this is still 10 kg heavier on the right, but not that different in body fat levels. Obviously still leaner on the left, but from the back you can really see how much progress I've made as well, which I'm quite happy with. Obviously a good bit leaner on the left, but like you can still massive improvements to make, nowhere near where I need to be. But I just wanted to show you them photos 1 week post show to now, to really show you like the difference and how beneficial pushing your body weight up can be. It takes a long time period. This isn't 4 weeks of progress. This is like 14 months of progress, and that's basically where I am right now. About 10 kg added on, maybe 7 to 8 kg of muscle, I'd like to hope. But anyway, this is where we are now. Going to push on for another 12 weeks, roughly in and around 12 weeks, before we then maintain that body weight. God knows what body weight I'll get up to. I'm hoping I'll get to like close to the heaviest I got last year, but just, or my last push up, but way better body composition. And then basically the plan of action is just rinse and repeat that process till 2025. Hold for 6 or 8 weeks. This is all subject to change. This is just a rough guideline. We might need to hold for 6 weeks. We might need to do 8 weeks. It's all subject to change depending on like my biofeedback markers. But we'll then go into another third long push up. I'm currently my second push up. Now we'll push up, we'll maintain, do another third push up, maintain again, into the final push up for push up 4. And then obviously as well, there's going to be mini cuts. Like at the start of this push up 4, we might need to do like a 6 to 8 week mini cut, and then continue pushing up my body weight again if we need to. And that's going to bring us basically till the start of 2025. So I'm in my second push up, halfway through the second push up, and then we're going to rinse and repeat that process for 2 more push-ups, at a total of 4 push-ups, maintain, and then it's fucking go time for prep in 2025. This is all subject to change as well. We're not sure when I'm going to be prepping. I'm either going to be prepping for shows in the middle of the summer of 2025, or if the schedule lines up better, we might go end of 2025, depending on what shows I'm aiming for. But that's basically what's going to happen. I'll be starting prep roughly spring 2025. So we still have, I'm not even halfway through my off season in terms of push-ups. I'm roughly halfway in timeline, but I still have another 2 push-ups after I finish this push-up. So basically how we approach these next third push-up and 4 push-up is more or less exactly what we've done the last year. Push my body weight up to a heaviest body weight, maintain, cut down, and push back up. Keep repeating that process over and over. And yes, you might be looking at this like, this is such a long time. You still have so long to go. But it will pay off, and you can see it has paid off. I'm close to 10 kg heavier, we're not that different body fat, and we still have another 2.5 push-ups to go. So that is the goal. It's a long-term game, and the whole reason I kind of showed you this is getting long, Jesus, half an hour. The reason I wanted to show you this is just to educate you along the way of what way you should kind of approach a long off season. If there's any like younger lads watching this is what you need to do. And this is exactly how I approach it myself. It's exactly how I approach my clients that are getting on stage next year and 2025. I was just kind of want to show you the process, but I really just want to emphasize how patience is so important, and this is a long-term game. Building a true competitive physique takes like not only a few months, not only years, but years and years. And that's why I'm willing to wait till 2025, because 2025, when I prep next, it's going to be my last year as a junior. I'm going to be 23, or I'm going to be turning 24 at the end of 2025. So I'll be 23 when I'm competing in 2025, and that's my last year as a junior. I'm also going to do a men's classes as well. but I still have time on my side, and that's why I'm taking the time off, because I know I need to grow to get where I need to be. So I'll wrap it up there. I'm rambling on now, but I'll leave it at that. And yeah, that's kind of more or less everything. So going to go back to a bit more regular vlogs after this. I just wanted to do this video to introduce you to what has basically been going on since I finished my prep last year, to now what my plan of action is before I get on stage again, show you my journey, and then obviously educate you along the way for anyone who wants to watch. So I'll go back to a bit more vlogs. I'll do some full day beatings over this push-up. I'll do some training videos, whatever you want. Any other recommendations, make sure you drop them below. And yeah, I'll chat to you in the next one, sure. So yeah, I'll leave it there.